Hey everybody, this is Mace1370 back for another triple Gatecrash draft. I think this pick is kind of difficult. Merciless Eviction seems like a pretty good card. You know, it has the ability to hit things other than creatures if you really need it to, so it can be kind of a catch-all answer to everything, but it is very slow. Killing Glare is pretty powerful. It's a little slow as well, but you can usually, kill pretty much any creature with it. Those are probably the best cards in the pack. I mean, Death's Approach is fine, so is Wasteland Viper, so is Greenside Watcher. Yeah, I mean, I guess taking the Merciless Eviction is okay here. I don't know. This is tough. Actually, I think I'm just going to take Killing Glare. I think this has a higher likelihood of ending up in my deck. This card is fine and all, but this card could go in a Dimir or an Orzhov deck, and, this is a little more difficult to cast. So we're going to take the Killing Glare. Alright, well, there's a Death Cult Rogue and a Balustrade Spy in the pack. Both of those would go with our first pick. But there's some other good cards here too. There's Slaughterhorn, I like that a lot. Dutiful Thrall is okay. Keymaster Rogue is alright. Boros Elite is, good in Boros. Ripscale Predator is a pretty good 6-drop, and Madcap Skills is Madcap Skills. I think here we just take Death Cult Rogue. This card is very good, especially in Dimir, obviously, but this is the card you need, a couple of to have a really good Dimir deck. The evasion on this guy is pretty significant. Funnily enough, this guy is also a rogue. I have been stupid before and attacked a Death Cult Rogue into Balustrade Spy and lost my Death Cult Rogue. But yeah, we'll take him here. Wow. That's a lot of red. So, I think Cinder Elemental is it's a powerful card. So is Molten Primordial. It's a 7-drop though. Third pick Wojak Halberdier is on top of both of these. I guess maybe that means that Boros could be open. There's also a Dinrova Horror though, which I like a lot, and there is a Metropolis Sprite. So if we were going to take one of these, this is pretty tough because like Dinrova Horror is very good, but you really want to have a good curve and to have a decent number of 2-drops in your deck. But Dinrova Horror is quite powerful. So this is pretty close. I guess I'll take the Horror here. This kind of feels wrong to take this card though, this early. But I'm going to do it because I like it. Alright, what do we have here? So there's a Mind-Eye Drake, which is good. Another Slaughterhorn. A Shadow Slice, which may or may not wheel. Sage's Redemption might. Millennium Gargoyle probably will, but yeah, we're just taking Mind-Eye Drake here. It's a very good card. Ooh. So between Dustmantle Guildmage and Undercity Informer, this is pretty close. This is a 2-drop, which is nice, and his ability is not irrelevant. Like you can get some incidental damage in with this guy. I think the pick is probably Undercity Informer though. This guy has some nice synergies with Mortis Strider, which we saw a pack or two ago, or maybe 3. I don't remember. I just remember seeing one, and it will probably table. So yeah, this guy's good, but I think I'm going to take the Undercity Informer. I think he has a potential to be more powerful. So here we could take a Millennial Gargoyle or a Sage's Road Denizen. I guess we just take the Sage's Road Denizen. Another Sage's Road Denizen, so that's fine. This card is okay. A 2/3 body is really why I like him. His mill ability is just kind of gravy on top, and it helps turn on removal like Death's Approach, and other cards of that sort. So I haven't picked up any 2-drops yet, partly because I wanted to take the Dinrova Horror. This pack is a little less exciting, not much here. Massive Raid's okay. Obviously we're not red, so we're not taking it, but I guess we'll take Clean and Enemies. Alright, well this was our opener. The Eviction is obviously not here, not that I really expected it to come around. I guess we could take Paranoid Delusions. I don't know if this will end up being a Paranoid Delusions deck. We have Undercity Informer and 2 Sage's Road Denizens. We have a Mind-Eye Drake, which can mill. So it's possible that we'll play this. I think you have to be really dedicated mill to make that work, though. Interesting that the Ripscale Predator came back around. I don't remember if this was the Mortis Strider pack or not. If it was, that's kind of iffy because the card is not exactly a high pick. Yeah, I guess we'll take Illusionist Bracers. get double activation off Undercity Informer. No, I think we're just going to take Rift Scale Predator. Okay, yeah, so this is something I don't understand at all. Wojak Halberdiers is still here. We're not Boros, so we're not taking it, but this card is a very high pick for Boros. So I think probably what happened is, I don't think there are 0 Boros players at the table, but there was that Molten Primordial and the Cinder Elemental. They're both gone, so I think it's very likely that a Boros player took like the Cinder Elemental or the Molten Primordial. I think that's probably wrong. I mean, I don't know what his other cards were, but we'll just counterdraft an Act of Treason, I suppose. So we have a decent start to a deck here. We need obviously more early drops and a little bit more removal. I liked Enrovahor a lot though, so I was happy to take that card. Nothing here. I guess we're taking Razor Whip. I've yet to see anyone actually cast Alpha Authority. So yeah, it seemed like Dimir was reasonably open, or at least blue was. And we got some decent black cards as well, so. Alright. Wow, this is a lot of red for one pack. Yeah, it looks like we're taking the Undercity Informer. So 2 of these guys means that we could consider, like a dedicated mill strategy. There's a Sage's Road Denizen in that pack that might even table. It would be nice to pick up a couple Balustrade Spies and then maybe some, early defensive creatures to help stem the tide. It looks like Mortis Strider is definitely going to make the cut here, though, just because we have double Undercity Informer. Well, this is another very good pack. Basilicus Creature is, I think, what we're taking. We don't have any 2-drops yet, and this is a pretty good one. Has Evasion, has Extort, which is nice. Orzhov Charm is good, but we're not white, and we're probably not going to splash for it. Although Prof Prism might come around, or maybe the Guildgate. People tend to value the fixtures pretty differently in the drafts that I've done. So lots of good Extort cards in this pack, but unfortunately we can't take them. I think we're just taking Death's Approach. Maybe the Sage's Road Denizen will wheel, maybe it won't. Alright, well we have Shadow Slice, which is a card that could help us race. There's also a Dimir Guildgate. I don't really feel compelled to take it now. There's also Psychic Strike, and maybe this is the moment when we decide if we want to do dedicated mill or not. We have a lot of 3-drops. But that said, we have 1, 2, technically 3 creatures with evasion to put the Shadow Slice on. I think I'm actually going to take Psychic Strike here and see where this goes. Alright, so Syndicate Enforcer versus Dimir Keyrune. I guess probably the Keyrune. I know we have a million 3-drops, but we have a few expensive cards that would be nice to ramp into. And Syndicate Enforcer is okay, but he doesn't really defend very well, and it doesn't seem like we're beating down. So it just feels like you're paying 4 mana for an Extort creature to sit there, so I'm going to take the Keyrune. Ooh. There's another Death's Approach. There's also Bane Alley Broker. And another Sage's Road Denizen. We might get like a full playset of these if they come around. This is a hard choice. We actually don't have that much removal. So the Death's Approach might be what we should take here, just because we have the double Undercity Informer, 2 Sage's Road Denizens, now we have Psychic Strike, Mind-Eye Drake. Yeah, this is pretty tough, but I mean, this is like the looter of looters. Yeah, I think I might just take the Death's Approach here. We have enough mill that like this is going to get pretty good, I think. That's a hard choice, though. This is another hard choice. Not that we don't need another Mortis Strider, but between Hands of Binding and Devour Flesh, we have some creatures that can carry the Hands of Binding. Hopefully, we pick up more. Yeah, so now we have the Dimir Keyrune as well. Yeah, this is tough. I think Hands of Binding is probably better. This is close, though. Alright, so I guess maybe no, I was wrong. No one's in Boros. Um, so here it's probably just Shadow Slice. There's not much else. Alright, Paranoid Delusions Wield. We could take that, or we could take Shadow Alley Denizen. See, we have a decent number of black creatures. We could like replay Mortis Strider over and over to give something Intimidate. Maybe that's reasonable. We have one Paranoid Delusions. I don't know if we're going to run both. I don't know, like, if we're going to be, like, that type of mill deck, like, heavy Paranoid Delusions. I'll take the Denizen here. Interesting. There's some cards going around. I guess we're just going to take the Orzhov Guildgate on the off chance we get a splashable white card later. And here, I guess, we'll counter draft, I guess, the Nav Squad Commandos. Alright, the Shadow Slice did wheel. So we either get a second Shadow Slice or a Last Thoughts. They have like no 4-drops. I was hoping to get a Balustrade Spire too. Yeah, I guess Shadow Slice. Sure, Mental Vapors. Alright, so pack 2 was not that great. I don't even know if I'm running these Shadow Slices or not. Yeah, we did not pick up very much in this pack. Interesting. So we have another Dimir Guildmage or a Balustrade Spy. I think the Spy is probably just a better card overall. And one thing that's tipping me in favor of this is Hands of Binding. We just want another guy that could possibly carry it. I think Dustmantle Guildmage is fine. Who knows? Maybe it'll wheel. If there's another Dimir player, he might just take Keymaster Rogue instead. This is another card that I have a hard time determining if it will table or not. Sometimes I see it fly around in circles, other times it gets snapped up right away. It would be nice to have like a repeatable source of mill, I guess, for our mill plan. But I like taking the Spy. He does what we need done. Yeah, so I guess Metropolis Sprite is good here. We need more 2-drops. This is Evasion. Maybe the Paranoid Delusions will wheel, or maybe the Sapphire Drake. Probably not, though. I can keep my hopes up. Okay, so I guess, yeah, just Dimir Charm. Dimir Charm is a good card. More removal is always a good thing. Shadow Slice probably will wheel, given that the other two did. Slate Street Ruffian might. We don't really need a dorky 3-drop, though. We have quite a few of those. Oh, I guess, yeah, the Sage's Row Denizens did not table in the previous pack, so I guess someone might be going into our archetype here. Alright, so Corpse Blockade would be fine, but we just have so many 3-drops. I don't think we really need it. I guess we do have a Mortis Strider, and it does work well with that, but we need more 2-drops. We need 2-drops more importantly, so we're just going to take the Sprite here. Alright, Anemones, don't really need another one of those. I'll just take the Millennial Gargoyle. It's another guy that can hold Hands of Binding. Or Shadow Slice if we want to put one of those in. Yeah, so we don't need a second Mortis Strider. Don't really need another Shadow Slice. I'm at a loss as to like these late Boros cards. Maybe people are finally getting tired of Boros and just want to do something else. Do we need Spell Rupture? Because we don't have one of those yet. I don't think we really do. We don't have, you know, very many big creatures. So I guess we're just taking Shadow Slice again. Alright. So here we could take Syndicate Enforcer. It just doesn't seem like that type of deck to me. Maybe it's better than Corpse Blockade. I think I might just take the Blockade though, just because we have one Mortis Strider. It has some synergy there. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, this pack is kind of a miss. Looks like a similar print run to, I think, our opener. This will just take Prophetic Prism. Yeah, and Dustmantle Guildmage is not here, but there's a Keymaster Rogue, so that's fine. Wow. Well, I will take a Sapphire Drake, I think. We have enough 2-drops now that I don't think we need to take an Incursion Specialist. It's a 1-3, and so all of our 2s, we have 4 2-3s in here, and those are all going to block like this will. So I don't think we need this type of effect. Yeah, Sapphire Drake is a decent finisher, though. The millionth Shadow Slice. I don't think we need 4 of them. I don't think we need Sky Games. I guess we'll just take the Ruffian. Sure. No, I guess I could have taken Scatter right there for the sideboard. That was a mistake. I just counterdrafted the Forced Adaptation. Shouldn't matter too much though. We have a counterspell if we need one. But yeah, there's definitely another Dimir player out there. He grabbed some of our stuff. Looks like we got the Spell Rupture back anyways. Alright, so I'd say this is a decent Dimir deck overall. We have a couple things on the top end. We have a pretty strong mill theme. We have a decent number of evasive guys for our Hands of Binding, probably a Shadow Slice. I don't know about the Paranoid Delusions. Not sure if we're quite that all in. The good news is we have plenty of mill to make these awesome, which is always a good thing. Yeah, we got the Mortis Trigger in there. So yeah, probably playing one of these. Alright, so actually we get to cut a card or two. I guess we have a Corpse Blockade, so we don't really need Clean Anemones. And then if we had to cut one more card, it could be a Sage's Road Denizen. We have quite a few random 3-drops. And I think the mill that we have is fine. Like we have a Psychic Strike, we have a Spy, 2 Undercity Informers, and 1 Sage's Road Denizen. That should be enough to turn on our Death's Approach. So maybe this guy's the odd man out. Keymaster Rogue I think I like just because it's another win condition. We have some cheap creatures that we can bounce back. We might have to bounce a 3-drop though. And I guess we could take out Shadow Slice to put in the Sage's Road Denizen. I think I like Shadow Slice though. It can win games out of nowhere, especially when you have evasive guys like Keymaster Rogue. I mean, it's just basically 9 damage that turn with these 2 cards alone. So yeah, I think this is fine. 9-8 is probably correct. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna submit this and see you in game 1.